Well, it looks like we finally got some brand new confirmation about things in the Sonic timeline because the Sonic lore matters. If you think the lore about the blue rat doesn't matter, well, guess what, mother... It does, all right? Shut up. We're here to discuss today. We also have some speculation about the future because the third season of Sonic Prime is dropping Thursday, which is all but confirmed to be a major shakeup or at least some type of clarification for how Sonic Prime is even canon to the timeline, how it's canon in general. There's going to be a lot of Sonic timeline stuff going on this week, but we also already got some stuff today. So a big week for Sonic lore. Let's not waste your time. Before we get into it, please subscribe to the channel with all notifications for daily Sonic videos. I'll give you a second. And let's talk about the big Sonic lore roundup for this week. So where did we last leave off with the Sonic franchise? Well, Sonic Dream Team released about a month ago. Actually, it was just about a month ago. It feels like the game kind of just came and went, you know? The most popular YouTube content for this game that I can remember was like the initial reveal and everyone reacting to the news that it was locked behind the Apple Arcade subscription service. That kind of pissed off a lot of people in the Sonic fan base. Like streams for the game were dry. Like no one's really making videos on it. But somehow, some way, this game scored a 75 on Metacritic, which puts it above Sonic Frontiers and Sonic Superstars. Would have thought there would have been a little bit more buzz about this, you know, like we got a good 3D Sonic game in 2024 in the modern era, but it makes sense. It is just a mobile game at the end of the day. But obviously one of the coolest things about the game was that it was narrative driven, so there was like an actual plot to the game, albeit not much. We finally got confirmation as to when this takes place in the timeline, and Ian Flynn just confirmed it today on his podcast. And as you know, we always talk about Sonic lore on this channel. We always try to piece together the timeline. We have a bunch of videos and theories about this stuff if you want to check it out. But Ian Flynn gives us insight as to where this takes in relation to Sonic Frontiers. So why don't we go ahead and roll the clip and then we'll discuss.
Here's a question from Andrew D. Sonic Dream Team spoilers. I noticed something that I wanted to ask about. Sage was not around to save Eggman in the intro to Sonic Dream Team. Does that mean this game takes place before Sonic Frontiers, or was Sage simply not around?
Orbot and Cubot were also not there to help Eggman, so does this mean it's before Sonic Unleashed? Metal Sonic was not there to help him out, so does this mean it was before Sonic CD? Not every character is going to show up in every single game. Dream Team is post-Frontiers.
Okie dokie. Here's one from Anonymous. In issue...
So that is pretty interesting, and honestly, in my opinion, I feel like you could almost put Dream Team anywhere after like any of the post-2010 games. There's nothing really that significant that happens in that story that alters the future of the games or anything like that, unlike a game like Sonic Frontiers. Certain character arcs that some of the characters go through in Sonic Frontiers, for example, Tails says he's gonna go off on some of his own adventures. Amy says she wants to go spread her love around the world. Knuckles says he's gonna get off Angel Island, which kind of fits in with Dream Team because he's off Angel Island. And they also introduce a daughter for Eggman. So like a lot of like significant things that are going to affect the games for years to come. So Sonic Dream Team's placement in the timeline to me doesn't really make a difference. It's fine. It's acceptable. I don't know if anyone has an issue with that. Let's see what Twitter's saying.
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
Looks like we already got one. Guys, Tails, Amy, and Knuckles didn't go on their own adventures for long, or they're just really procrastinating on those. And then it looks like there's Discourse. All right. This guy brings up a good point. He says, I mean, the real truth of it is the brand coming before any storytelling. Those characters have specific roles until they fulfill until the end of time for this franchise to remain evergreen. In that sense, it was almost pointless to imply long-term growth in Frontiers ending. Perhaps. Maybe the second statement doesn't make as much sense, but I do believe that this one definitely makes the most sense. Oh, wait. As a matter of fact, people are upset. Some people are upset because the other characters are supposed to go on their own adventures or whatever. Listen, who cares? All right, who cares? It doesn't matter. The story is so insignificant. Nothing major happens in the middle of it. But yeah, the discourse is out there. Truthfully, I don't think it matters that much, and we don't actually know when it takes place. It's just post Frontiers. All those adventures the other characters could have taken could definitely have happened in between Frontiers and this game. And regardless, we don't know what they were all up to prior to this game. Cream the Rabbit just went missing, but obviously all the other characters would probably come together to rescue her. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's a big deal. It's a non-issue to me, but I am seeing some discourse. So it is official. Sonic Dream Team officially takes place after Sonic Frontiers. The adventures that all the other characters were supposed to go on after Frontiers apparently are an issue to Twitter. To me, it's a non-issue. Let me know what you guys think about this, but there's still some more stuff going on because now we are settling into post-Frontiers territory with the lore of Sonic, and now the new lore council is in effect. Keep in mind, for those of you who aren't aware, we talk about this a lot in the lore videos, but I have to remind you that Sega has hired a lore manager, and there is a lore team that is is currently focusing on connecting all of the Sonic media together, like Prime, IDW, the games, and even backtracking and trying to correct some of this stuff. So this is kind of a work in progress. And now we're starting to see all this take place because Frontiers and Dream Team and now Prime are going to be like the 3 major projects that take place after, as well as Superstars. There was some lore with that as well. So the Dream Team discourse, it's not too out of control, but I'll keep an eye on that situation. I'll let you guys know what's up with that. But if you thought this was going to be bad for the Sonic community, this week is Sonic Prime week, which means presumably this is going to be the end of Sonic Prime, and we're going to figure out exactly what the significance is to the timeline and where it takes place. Ian Flynn has been on record many times saying he can't spoil the ending of Season 3 for Sonic Prime because it's important to the timeline. It's going to confirm how it's canon and stuff like that. I have several videos you can go watch on this if you want to get up to speed, but here's the gist.
Hey Kyle and Ian, my question is a Prime-related question. According to the writers, it is canon somehow. Where do you think in the timeline does Prime take place? After Frontiers? Before?
I cannot answer because I know the answer and you haven't finished watching the show yet.
I think the answer is yes. Where do you think in the timeline does Sonic Prime take place? Yes. Specifically roundabout by yes.
So there you have it. We are set for Season 3 of Sonic Prime, which I think is going to be the finale now. Of course, there could be more seasons or something like that. Or maybe they'll do more episodes. I don't really know, but it looks like there's going to be a conclusion to this ever contentious issue that's been arising in the Sonic franchise ever since this show was announced and ever since it came out that this show is canon. A lot of people have been really upset with the fact that this show is canon because they say that there's a lot of contradictions and things like that. Not really trying to get into all that in this video, but there's this major theory going around about how this could actually work. Since there's a lot of contradictions that people have pointed out, how could the show possibly be canon? Well, it looks like it's gearing up towards this potential theory that I've been seeing about a pre-boot for Sonic Prime. And the new Season 3 episode may even further confirm the suspicion about this theory that a lot of people have been having. I've seen a lot of tweets about it, but this was like the big thread that I recently saw. I don't feel like digging through Twitter to find some of the other threads, but this person says, I'm 99% certain that Sonic Prime is going to be a pre-boot to the universe we currently know. If Sonic Prime was actually a prequel to the entire mainline Sonic continuity and its existence is nullified by a timeline reset like in 06, then that line, I'll see you again little buddy, hits hard because it's the last time Sonic sees his version of Tails. So this tweet got a lot of likes, a lot of people were talking about it, but if you look up Sonic Prime pre-boot, you're gonna see a lot of just people talking about it. Like, this is a big theory that people have. This is another big Sonic lore account, and they said, of course the show will end with a kind of flashpoint where Sonic will create a new universe, the one we know of the game. Like, a lot of people had this theory. Like, right now, this is the odds-on favorite to be the theory for what happens in Sonic Prime Season 3. Of course, this is speculation. Based off of what we know, this is certainly a plausible theory. So the idea is that Prime Sonic is going to somehow maybe piece the Paradox Prism back together and will end up recreating basically the entire game universe. If you look at what Nine is able to do with the power of the Paradox Prism in Season 3, he's able to like create stuff. He can create the robots, and he's trying to create his own version of the Grim or his own perfect world. Now, assuming Green Hill's been destroyed, which was Sonic's world, it's possible when it's all said and done, there's going to be this crazy curveball at the end where he recreates the universe. And basically everything that happens in the Prime world no longer exists, and it starts right back up from, I guess, whenever the timeline begins with Sonic. This is the big theory that a lot of people are having. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to be 100% certain or not, but assuming that this is the final season of Sonic Prime and it ends right here, Ian Flynn already confirmed that the place in the timeline of Sonic Prime is going to all come together at the end of Season 3. One of the biggest issues of contention for the Sonic franchise ever since this show was announced as canon will finally get its long-awaited answer. How is this show canon? Where does it fit in the timeline? Will this show be a pre-boot to the game universe? What happened to the Chaos Emerald that Shadow dropped? Like, there's so much stuff that we need to figure out, and it's actually going to be important, so we will be tuning into Sonic Prime Season 3. Drop your predictions down below. Let me know what you think about the Dream Team news, and make sure to subscribe to the channel with all notifications, and watch the videos in the end screen. I'll see you in the next one.